Welcome to an epic Clash of Clans video. We have a Town Hall 13 5 versus 5 war, and you are going to see every single attack. It includes two professional teams, INTZ versus Team Queso. This is all part of the Elite Warrior United. And if you do want to see more Clash of Clans videos, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We are starting with Team Captain of INTZ, Marinol, coming in with a dragon attack using the Battle Blimp to start us off. Now, the Battle Blimp has really surged in popularity since the introduction of Town Hall 13 and its increased level. I love the start here, just using some Sui heroes to strip out that top area, using his king and queen alongside the new hero, the Royal Champion, trying to give direct access to this inside where the multi and expos lie. Notice as well that the air sweepers are pointing left and right, kind of out of the direction that you would think, and Marinol does decide to send in a couple of dragons to set that funnel initially for his main pack to come into the center. The Battle Blimp then also comes in. I wasn't quite expecting all of that, going all out here, trying to get through the sweepers as soon as possible. Freeze spells are used on top of that alongside Rage. Now, this is the beauty of the Battle Blimp. It now will activate the Town Hall for you, so balloons inside that alongside the E-Drag can take it down, take down the enemy queen, and I love the use of the clone spell here because as the dragons naturally funnel out to either side, that is what happens when you attack from the corner of a base. He's able to continue the force, power, whatever, through the middle of the base with the dragons, but that scatter shot really just did a number on him and he didn't have enough to get through it. If the scatter shot and Eagle in the center of the base had have gone down, then this could have been a different story for Marinol. I do like to see the dragons used early on. I love the variety, and seeing that within Clash, we've had some epic wars from the EWU. If you're interested in seeing more of the tournament, I will link their Twitter account down in the description of this video, and as I mentioned, I will be sure to link the Tribe versus Queen Walker's war in the pinned comments, and at the end of this one. But kicking it off, it is a 77, I was going to say 78, and it is. The Grand Warden gets it. 78%, 79%, I'm wrong, not even looking at the screen. 79% 2-star for INTZ. Can Team Queso get themselves a 3? Reactions is the first attacker for Team Queso, and this is definitely a strange base. What do you think? Is it a bit of a troll? Is it the wrong base and the correct war base in Friendly War hasn't been set up? I'm not too sure. These type of bases will trip you up, and I feel like the whole defense mechanism of this is to try and make it difficult for the Yetis. But Reactions wants to use that Yeti attack, and a good start with the Queen Charge. I always feel like with these ring bases, you can get a Queen Charge to work incredibly well, and I do like the use of the wall breakers down to the other side, assumably for the Barbarian King to come in and just create that funnel. Here he comes alongside a couple of wizards. It is always good to send something in with your king. He does a tremendous job at tanking defenses, so why wouldn't you put something else in with him? A couple of wizards, a couple of witches, anything like that can be beneficial. Now, the Queen aimed in this attack to come around the top. At the moment she's not doing that, but that's where the Bowlers and Yeti are deployed very quickly to try and refocus the Queen, redirect her round to the top of that base. She's focused on the clan castle, and she is going to come into the center due to the wall wrecker opening that up. Now, it's not a major issue here because the main focus is to get the Yeti into the center, and that's exactly what has happened. Under the Grand Warden's ability, they get through the town hall and the Giga Bomb does nothing. It's all within that compartment by itself, so nothing happens to the troops on the outside. Yeti continue to come around, but spring traps are their worst enemy, and this is turning into a bit of a nightmare for reactions. What looked like a super important attack has changed in a heartbeat, and the single Inferno left standing is going to be the savior for Banal of INTZ. The Queen still has the ability, but she's got a lot to get through here. With only a couple of support troops, it is going to be difficult. The ability is popped early, and the single Inferno, once locked onto that Queen, will take her down. Is he going to beat percentage of that first attack by Marinol? I don't think so. So we are going to have a battle on our hands. A bit of a nervy start from either team, but the 79% 2-star does keep them in the lead. How much time does he have? It's going to be interesting to see if he can get to that 79. It might be exactly the same. Have you guys ever seen anything like that before? Let me know. Have you seen a perfect war where it is literally tied on stars and percent? I seen one shared on Twitter not too long ago. I forget who it was, but it's not the case after the first attack. INTZ are in the lead. Can they maintain it? Here they come with the hybrid miner hog rider attack strategy. I personally love this attack. I've been using it a lot myself. I've mentioned so many times in recent days, but I feel like the miners are incredibly underrated right now, so I would recommend you as a Town Hall 13 upgrade them and start practicing with them. Hopefully we can teach you how to do it in this attack. Pro player, I'm sure it's going to be done to a T. Now the Tesla farm over by the town hall could very easily be predicted here. The town hall off to the side, and clearly there's going to be something to try and defend it. The Archer Queen can easily take that down, and she is going to start a little bit of a path here to get into the base. Now what this will do is take apart this entire area with the multi-inferno. Yes, it helps to get some defenses and splash damage down, but it will allow the miners to target straight onto the town hall. You do not want to attack the town hall last when you're using miners or hog riders. We will see the miners deployed first and then the hog riders, but we do see the triple ice golem coming out of the clan castle. This is something which again I would be recommending you use on defense because it's just so powerful to slow down the Archer Queen. That is his sole focus here for Oski, and the scatter shot is tanked by the Queen. So whenever you're in this situation that you can get the Archer Queen into the base, Oski knows that that is tanked and the miners will be safe. The Queen is going to take it anyway, but here come them miners and hog riders onto the town hall. Miners get it down first, and it allows the hog riders, because they are quicker, to just stay back that little bit and then catch up. So when they get to the center of the base, they tend to get there together. That's the whole idea. There's a good split here, but not too much of a split that the heal spell is not helping both troops. The healers swap across to the miners. Now, that's not too devastating if the Queen gets the value and the healers can still be used. In a Queen Charge Lalo attack, it's a little bit different, where your healers are just stuck. But in this one, the healers are on the hogs, they're on the miners. He's got an incredible force coming through this base with the Royal Champion's ability going off. There's nothing going to stop this attacker, and it is going to be the first 3-star for INTZ. They were up on percentage, but now they're up on 3 stars. But if we know anything about Team Queso, 3rd place in the Clash of Clans World Championship, it's that they have fighting spirit, and we know that they've got the caliber to do this. A few changes to their lineup. You might notice one who won the World Championships with Nova, now a member of Team Queso. Can he be one of them powerhouses to get them a 3-star? Because they're going to need it now. They're behind in this war. Speak of the devil, here is one fresh out of his World Championship victory with Nova and now battling out of Team Queso. Here in the Elite Warrior United, they are battling out of Villa Lacura, and often this is what we see. Within community events, we will see the clans battling out of teams and different names just because their regular clan might be tied up. However, One is using that same strategy, which we've just seen 3-star. An interesting approach here. Now, your queen charge should always try and get the town hall. If not, you need that clear pathing for the miners. But if you can take that town hall, you're really onto a winner in these single attack format wars, because you cannot miss it. You really don't want to get a 1-star. It will put your team far behind, but one is struggling here as his queen is veering off course. He's trying to quickly set up the funnel on this right hand side, but the queen has other ideas. She has gone, she's walked over to that areas, and now the miners and hogs will have to be deployed onto the town hall. He's going to struggle to set up the funnel on this left hand side because the king and the siege barracks has also been deployed. So in come the miners and hog riders. They are going to go to the town hall, but he's going to struggle to path them into the base. The royal champion can be used, but there's not a lot of cleanup behind that. So he's just got to hope that the miners and hogs get stuck on the inside of the base and they just forget about the buildings over to the left. It is getting close here. They're in the center, and he might have got away with that one. Definitely not what he wanted, but they are in the center of the base, and he can worry about the trash buildings later. He can get the minions and archers in over there. He doesn't have to worry, but I'm pretty confident that the queen was meant for the town hall so that he didn't have to worry about it. Now this is where it's dangerous, guys, because the healers have gone down. The queen has gone down. He's got miners and no hog riders, so just miners towards the back end of the base, but with no heal spells, no healers. It's going to be a struggle. Had to just commit everything early on to get that star and the town hall. One did that, but unfortunately you really are going to then struggle to get the 3. When you have to adapt your plans so much, you're then going to struggle. However, that is the signs of a pro player. You need to recognize when it's not working and when you need to bail out and get the highest percentage possible. And one did pretty much everything he could there. Put everything into that town hall and manage to just get as high a percentage as possible. You'd far rather use your spells early on in order to get that percentage and fail on defenses at the back end of the base. It is going to be 92%, so Team Queso still hovering in that percentage. They're not that far behind, but they are behind by a star, so they've got to get a 3. We now have Aussie of INTZ coming in here with the hybrid attack. Now this is proving to be the most popular of this war. We did see it in the Tribe Gaming versus Queen Walker's 5v5 war, and I think we only seen it the once. I have used it myself, it's incredibly popular, but certainly we've seen 3 attacks back to back with it. Are we going to see another triple though? Is it now odds on turn to see that 3-star? Let's find out. The queen walking down to the side here. Again, not sure that that was the idea because the funnel had been created temporarily. She's going to be able to reach the multi-inferno, which is a huge bonus here. Manages to freeze it, has to put some hog riders in because she's not going to take that route, so the hogs will be able to get that, and I love the use of that rage spell, but the giant bomb is incredibly placed. This means the healers are going down, the queen is history, and now Aussie has to just bail out, exactly like one did. There's no way you can get a 3-star. When the queen has gone down, the healers have gone down, one would think. Let's find out. They're pro players, but now Aussie is doing everything in his mind to reformulate the plan and go for this. Now, one thing he could do is continue to set the funnel here with the king and then drop the slammer onto the town hall. However, we notice the siege barracks has been deployed at the top of the base, so the miners and hogs straight into the town hall is going to be the method used. We're already close to that 40%. He's got to be risky here. He's got to be careful because the miners will attack any building, so they should go to the town hall. They do. I was a little bit worried because there was a lot of buildings at the top, a lot of them that could have drawn the troops around. Nervous attacks here. INTZ, they're in the lead, but this one certainly didn't solidify that. It still gives Team Queso a bit of hope, and this is what Team Queso wanted. Now, he's got a lot of miners and hog riders into the center of the base. Surely we're not going to triple here, guys. Surely not. Everything is going down. It's not a fully maxed out base. He's opted to upgrade walls rather than the Tesla farm. Wow guys, this is getting close. Miners are starting to split up and taking huge damage, but this is looking like he could do it. Now I have to admit, you can tell by my commentary, I was not expecting it, but with pro players, you've got to be able to keep your cool, and Aussie has done that. We've got 2 Archer Towers and 2 Teslas, a lot of miners, and it's looking like a 3-star as the Grand Warden continues to swipe away at them defenses. 15 seconds, are you kidding me? It's going to be a time fail after all of that. After fighting through diversity and defeat at the start of the attack, it's going to be a time fail. More than enough miners to get it done. If that doesn't tell you that this is a good attacker, then I don't know what will. 96%, sorry, does indeed keep INTZ in the lead with percentage. Even if Queso get a 3-star, they're still behind on percentage. Jose it is, and he's falling back to the Yeti. We've seen this a lot since the Town Hall 13 update. I do love the variety that we've been seeing in the EWU tournament, and certainly Hog Riders, Miners, Dragons, there's a lot. Lava Loon we've seen as well. The Yetis are the method of choice on this one. The Grand Warden in range of that Multi-Inferno, something you do want to look for when using this attack strategy, because that can be a huge bonus if you can get very good value whilst setting up the funnel with the Grand Warden walk. Now the reason that it is so effective on this style of attack is because it's so easy to then switch your Warden's pathing. It's not necessarily about where the buildings are taken down and where he will go as with every other troop. It's basically getting your troops inside to switch him to the support role. So I do love here that as the Grand Warden is slowly chipping away through buildings, we've got minions used to the top, we've got balloons cutting off the funnel to allow the Yeti to drive straight into that Town Hall when the time is ready, and a rage spell is used just to speed up the process. It can be quite slow and you can waste a little bit of time with that Grand Warden. You don't want him to take too much damage and you don't want him to take too much time. The wall breakers get through the initial layer here, and notice that only 1 jump spell will be required right on top of the clan castle to give us access to everything. Now whenever you can use just 1 spell to get access through the base, that should be pretty much screaming. P.E.K.K.A. Smash, Yeti Smash, anything like that. The only difficulty is that there is a chance they start to split here, so I would love to see the Royal Champion deployed over to this 7 o'clock section once the troops get inside, just to try and help out, just to try and help them move forward up towards that Eagle Artillery. We're still waiting, but unfortunately, due to the Ice Golems, the Yeti are pretty much done. These scatter shots do just a lot of damage. They're finally getting into play here. What has happened to the troops? They've gone down tremendously, and Jose is left staring at his iPad wondering what on earth happened. All of the Yeti have gone. The base has defended fantastically. Marinol, we know that he's a skilled attacker. We also know he's a great base defender, and this one certainly fed into that Yeti attack strategy. Fantastic stuff. I've got to say that in my own eyes when I was watching this, I didn't see that coming either, and that is where the base is designed to bait you into an area and attack from every single angle can really make it difficult. However, this is what happens. You can speak too soon with these Yeti styles of attacks because the main defenses were down at the bottom of the base, and when they do go down, look at it, despite everything pretty much getting wiped out, the king is tanking. Can this one wizard take out the archer tower? It is again a time fail, but that is so close to working despite all of the Yeti getting shredded. Jose with the 92%, 3 attacks per team. INTZ in the lead, still too difficult to call. Mr. E of INTZ now using that same attack. Can he go from time fail in that previous one to the 3 stars in this one? That is where at the start of the last attack the rage spell was used, and as I was mentioning, to try and speed things up. The Grand Warden Walk can take a lot of time, and this is where Mr. E, fresh out of seeing that time fail, is not messing around. The Grand Warden quickly snipes off a building or two, but then he's in with the rest of his troops. He does not want a time fail. Now let me know in the comments, did you think that the previous attack was going to get such a high percentage? Because I certainly didn't. Now the Yeti comes straight into that town hall. We've got 3 ice golems coming out of there, and then the earthquakes are used, but unfortunately it is just going to be the Yeti stuck by the ice golems at the moment. Once they get through there, they can merge with the hog riders, but this is where you want the troops to be together. The hog riders are taking a bit of a battering, but they are helping with that pathing for the Yeti. They moved straight through the earthquakes, and where that opened up the walls, and now we have tremendous force through the base. The Royal Champion on the left hand side is being tanked. I would love to see that final scatter shot go down. It would look such a more powerful attack. I think we're looking at a 3-star here, guys, as Mr. E surrounds it with loons onto archer towers as they are tanked. Can he get that one down? That is huge. If you can pick off point defense on the outside of the base, you're looking so much better in reducing the DPS that is coming into your troops, and that is where the quick deployment of the Yeti and the P.E.K.K.A. really just helped in this one. Over a minute left. We've got a lot of base, but he's got troops to the left, troops to the south, and troops to the right. Left, bottom, and right. I should have said wall breakers trying anything to distract the archer tower, because there were still archers in that area, but it didn't happen. Now this could be costly. It will be a lot of time before the troops on this side move across to the other. We've got 1 P.E.K.K.A. that is taking it out, and although there was a lot of time on the board, it could still come short. It's all about time here. Mr. E cannot change this attack. He's just sitting, praying, hoping that he gets this one done. The percentage continues to rack up. 93, 94. Once the P.E.K.K.A. gets the gold storage, it is looking even more and more like a 3-star, but it's still nervous times for INTZ. If they take this one, it's looking more like that victory. 20 seconds, and the troops finally get here to help this P.E.K.K.A. It is going to be a 3 for Mr. E of INTZ. Well, now we know that Team Queso has to get 2 3-stars. They have to, because INTZ have already got 2 3-stars. Their only chance here in the final 2 attacks is to go perfect. So this one is crucial. If it's not a 3-star, the only chance that Team Queso have is if INTZ fail on their last attack. Starting this one out, trying to set up the dragons. Now, we do know how successful dragons can be. Marinol did struggle in the first attack. However, I have seen them used very successfully, including from attacks of my own using the dragons. I love that freeze spell to allow the wall breakers through. He is going to get through that initial compartment. The king's ability is then popped, and the ice golem is a nice touch in front of the queen. Might have been a little bit quick on the queen deployment. However, it is just going to allow the ice golem to get right into the center, because ideally the enemy queen and the clan castle troops are what's going to be frozen here. Now, the clan castle troops might not be in that area. In fact, the ice golem only clips the cannon wizard tower, but most crucially, the queen didn't get it though. Didn't get it. It was meant as a Sui deployment, and that could be crucial moving forward here. Now, the dragons can still take down the enemy queen, so it's not the end of the world. We've got good pathing, but that queen was a key target of Team Queso's attack, especially with the bats now being deployed on top of that multi. The queen goes over there, so she is going to snipe off some of the bats. That's not what he needed. He needs a couple of dragons to peel off and get that queen quick, as they do, and it does mean they can take her down, but not under rage, means that they will struggle. Now, the queen does go down, the royal champion goes down, so all is not lost here. However, everything has been committed to the dragons. They're over the town hall, but there's not a lot of health left here, and when they come out of the Grand Warden's ability, which was pressed early. It had to be to get through that town hall. Otherwise, he could have been stuck in a situation where he didn't then have the firepower to get through. However, moving to the back end of the base here, Royal Champion's ability has been pressed. She's continuing to help, but the dragons are all on very low health. We've got an air defense, a single, and 3 Teslas, which rain in damage incredibly quickly. It is not going to happen for Team Queso. It is still that high percentage, but it's not enough. So now INTZ will more than likely be going for their comfortable 2 stars. As long as they get 2 safe 2 stars, then the war is done. They've won it. Team Queso cannot catch up, so more than likely these players will have, for their final attacks, multiple plans. Plans where they aim to go for the 3-star, and plans where they will be able to get that comfortable 2-star, and INTZ know what they need to do. Well, 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 Banal with the Queen charge into Lavaloon. We know how good he is with the wall breakers. We've seen it time and time again throughout the 2019 World Championships, and here he goes. Now, the Queen charge Lalo can actually be a safe 2-star strategy. It can be very good because it offers the opportunity of the 3, but if you plan for the town hall with your Queen charge, you will either get that and then you can just Lalo as normal because you're going to get the 50%, or if not, 9 times out of 10, as long as you've double checked, you can just Lalo into the town hall, save onto that slammer, and you are good for that comfortable 2-star. Banal, he's going for the 3 here. I know that he is going for nothing but. We've got that triple ice golem that is going to just slow the Queen down, but the enemy king goes down at the same time due to the attacking barbarian king, who powers down the right hand side, gets beautiful value here to keep the Queen on the inside of the base. You always want to try and take out the buildings on the outside to maintain the focus on the inside. Now, the single wall breaker comes here from Banal under rage. Just goes down, so he sends 2 more in. They bust open that wall. It doesn't offer anything extra for the Queen, but it's really cool to see either way. Banal sneaking in them wall breakers, getting tight here. Has to press that Queen's ability to get through. She will be pumped back up to nigh on full health due to that rage spell. And the Lalo comes in. I think that might have been a missed warden ability. Might have been a mistap there. It most certainly is, because there's no way he would have wanted the balloons to be healed through that initial portion as they come to the eagle or even the back end multi with them 2 wizard towers. That would be the ideal solution. However, the Queen charge has been incredible for Banal. Moving through this base, the scatter shot, if it locks onto the Queen, might help, but it doesn't. It goes to the balloons, and that is going to be the end of this attack, because look at how dangerous it is, wiping the balloons out. There is still a chance here actually, as the Archer Queen still has full health and the Royal Champion snipes off a couple of more buildings. We've only got a few point defense, we've got plenty of minions. If the Queen can hurry up and get through there to help with the minions, we might indeed get this. It's going to be close on time, it's going to be close on damage. The Queen has to get through a wall before getting to the Grand Warden statue, the cannon and the Archer Tower, and due to the minions not really being able to help out because the Wizard Tower and air defense is there, they're not going to have the power to get through, not to mention the time now due to that going down. However, the key thing there was that Grand Warden's ability. Imagine if he still had that, moving over the scatter shot to that final parts. This was a 3-star. I feel for Banal because the planning, the execution was there apart from that one little misclick, but it does ensure INTZ have got this victory 12-8, and can Oski of Team Queso get the 3 just to build their confidence. This is only round 1 of Elite Warrior United. There's multiple rounds before they move on. There's 3 in fact, so they do still have other wars. As we mentioned, after this attack, I will link you across to Tribe Gaming versus the Queen Walkers, 2 of the other clans that were in the World Championships last year. They battled it out in round 1 as well. It was equally exciting. We've seen a variety of attacks. I will link you across to that after this one, but let's see if Oski can rescue something for Team Queso here. The Yetis are his method of choice. Now, it's interesting that during this war, We've seen bowlers used alongside the Yetis. You can see 6 within his army composition. Now, the reason bowlers are normally used in a P.E.K.K.A smash style attack is so they can shoot across the walls, because the P.E.K.K.A don't. Whereas with the Yeti might jump across to get defenses. So it's interesting to see the bowlers in there. They do tend to go down a little bit easily, but Oski is just setting up the funnel here. Again, gradually going through with that Grand Warden walk. It does take a little bit of time. He's aiming for the multi-inferno after the bomb tower. The Grand Warden should lock onto it. The Party Warden will wipe it out. Will we be seeing more of the Primal Warden at the end of this month? I hope so. I like to see the variety of skins as well. In comes the P.E.K.K.A and the Yeti. He's got to draw that Grand Warden. Thankfully, he does go across into that direction. Now, one thing I love here is that Oski hasn't gave direct access to the Town Hall, in that the troops can't get within the compartment for it, but they can sideswipe it. And whenever you can do that, the Giga Bomb means that it will not hit the P.E.K.K.A, the Yeti, the bowlers, whatever you've got coming through the center of the base. So in this one, the Yeti and the bowlers are protected. They've got incredible force coming through the base because of that. All of the splash is down. One scatter shot does now hit the deck. Gone. There's only a wizard tower with the back end multi. I mean, talk about finishing off in style and picking that confidence up for Team Queso. Oski thought, you know what, we're not going down without a fight. We're not going down without a triple of our own, and he's done it in style. The Royal Champion's ability, the Queen's ability, so many troops, everything swagged over at the end of it. He can literally set his iPad down and let the troops do what they need to do to wrap up the 3-star for them, but unfortunately, it is not enough, as Team Queso are defeated in round number 1 of the EWU by INTZ. A fantastic war. Thank you to the clans. Thank you to the organizers of the event for having me involved. And if you do want to see Tribe Gaming versus the Queen Walkers, I will link that on your screen here right now. Go ahead and check that one out. Equally as exciting. You will be surprised, guys. Let me know when you get across there if the people win that you thought was going to. But we'll see you back again here tomorrow for more Clash of Clans. Until then, peace out.